Hello, fellow pizza enthusiasts. This is your friendly pizza whisperer, Rich Leonard. Showed you how to make some dough, showed you how to make some red sauce, I showed you the tools of the trade. Let's get down to making pizza. We're going to do a bunch of my old favorites from Davinci's, and we're going to start with one of the most popular ones. This was called the Real Man. Right, so we're going to get into that. The ingredients we're going to need, we're going to do some Italian sausage. I just got some nice Hempler's, really good high quality Italian sausage. I'm going to break that up, fry it up in a pan, let it drain a little bit. Going to be a lot of grease there. So we're going to have that. We're going to have some really good pepperoni. Again, instead of using the cheap sliced stuff you can get in the bags, it's ready to go. I got some nice Hempler's pepperoni sticks. I'm going to chop that up. I'd rather do it that way because I can make them a little thicker and a little extra yummy. Right, and it's just a better quality pepperoni. I've got some nice Hempler's salami. So the Real Man pizza is the red sauce, the mozzarella, sausage, salami, pepperoni. We're going to top that with roasted garlic, black olives, and pepperoncini. That is your Real Man pizza. So let's get into it. Okay, before we toss out the dough, the pizza crust, we're going to make sure all our ingredients are prepped. We've got some nice, lightly browned Hempler's mild Italian sausage here. I don't want to overcook that stuff because it's going to cook a little more on the pizza and it'll just get overcooked, right? So it's about probably 90% of the way there right now, just starting to brown, right? Next, some Hempler's, kind of thicker than normal sliced pepperoni. I just use the pepperoni sticks because I like it a little thicker, and it's a much better quality pepperoni than most of the pre-packaged, pre-sliced stuff you're going to find, right? Next ingredient is the olives, pepperoncini, roasted garlic, and I'll show you how to make that too. Super easy. That stuff's like Frank's Red Hot. You can put that shit on anything, right? Cheese, right? I'm very particular about the ingredients in the dough. Cheese, you can use any mozzarella you want if you want an okay pizza. If you want to go next level, good old-fashioned buffalo mozzarella. If you do insist on going with the shredded stuff, look for whole milk mozzarella. I think that's a lot better than the low moisture stuff. Most of the pre-shredded stuff is low moisture. Like string cheese is usually whole milk. So if you're not going to go with this, which I highly recommend, go with the whole milk. But this stuff, we're just going to break it up into little chunks so we can easily sprinkle it on the pizza. So I'll get that done, and then we'll put this Real Man pizza together. All right, folks, we are finally going to get around to making our pizza. We're going to start with the Davinci's Flying Pizza Real Man. That was one of the most popular. It probably made 1,000 of these things back in the 90s. Right? You can see the bread is still going to stick to the bowl a little bit. I'm going to try and get it to loosen up. I want this to stay as round as possible when I get it out of here. So get it off the sides a little bit. And then we're going to drop it onto a nice plate of flour, right? Because when you get around to actually making the pizza, I cannot emphasize this enough. You want to have your crust super dry, especially on the bottom, or it's going to stick to the board. You're going to have troubles, right? So we got that out nice and still in a nice round ball. Flip it up. Let's make sure we're nice and coated all the way around. We don't want any of that olive oil creating a problem. All right, so good. Now this is just something you got to play around with and kind of get a feel for, but the first thing we're going to do is not totally squish it hard, but kind of push some of those air bubbles out, right? Get her down to where it's maybe about 1/2 inch, maybe even just 1 centimeter there. Now you can just start stretching out from here, or if you want that real good pizza crust edge, right, you can just do an indent. It's just a little push, slide, push, slide, push, slide, kind of all the way around. Right, spin your way around. Get yourself a nice edge to that thing, and there we go, right? Now this stuff has some nice elasticity to it, but it's also kind of loose. So you want to be gentle with it. The first thing I want to do to ensure I can get a nice even crust is we're going to go just around the edges and stretch just below this ring, right? Get that outer edge, because that's the part that's going to probably stretch out the least easiest. All right, get that kind of even all the way around, and I think that's about right. Now from here, if you want, right, if you don't want to get crazy and toss it like you see in the movies, flour up, and you can just kind of work it out, right? So we'll just go that way. You can just kind of stretch her out like this, or probably can't see this. I'm going to do it off screen, but we're just going to give that a couple tosses. All right. Boom. And we're looking like a nice 14-inch pizza here. Right now, it's going to want to shrink up. Watch, this thing will just shrink if you let it. Well, maybe not so much. But at first, you'll find out that, you know, if you lay it down the first time, it will shrink. You got to keep working it back out to whatever size you want. I'm going for like a 13 or 14 incher here, right? Now, I'm nice and dry on the top, nice and dry on the bottom. Just, well, actually, there's a little bit of tack there, so we're going to give it a little sprinkle. All right, and that's going to be our bottom. We'll dry that up, so not crazy, right? Just enough to make sure it's nice and dry. It's not going to stick to the board when I'm trying to get the thing off of here. So we'll put that to the side. Now, you can use a farina, semolina, which is what I'm using here, right? Just a little cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha, light sprinkle, light dusting here. Not a crazy amount because I don't want to be eating a whole bunch of this stuff. And some of it will stick to the bottom of your pizza. But just enough to where this thing's going to slide around nice and easy, right? Nice and easy to pick up. Okay. There's your pizza crust. Let's make a real pizza and get this thing in the wood fire. Alrighty, Real Man Pizza, folks. We're going to take some of that really good garlicky, just basic red sauce. Spread it out there. I kind of like a lot of sauce. Go with heavier, lighter, whatever you prefer. Okay, that'll do. Next up, good old-fashioned fresh mozzarella. Right, and you don't need to like put so much of this stuff on that you completely cover the red sauce, because it's going to kind of smush out. Or melt out, I should say. Smush, mush, melt, whatever. It's going to cover your pizza, right? So, you know, go a little heavier if you really like the cheese. I'm going to go with what I like, which is kind of a medium, not too heavy, not too light, somewhere right in the middle there. Again, if you're going to go with the shredded stuff, try and go whole milk. I think it's a lot better than the little moisture. But that'll do it. All right. So we've got red sauce, mozzarella. Next, we're going to go with mild Italian sausage. Just a nice little covering there ought to do it. We're going to need some pepperoni. It's a nice little kind of lot thicker than you're used to with the sliced stuff you get at the store or probably your regular pizzeria. That's because that's just the way I like it. Salami. All right, so we're going to throw a few slices of salami. These are usually 8 sliced. I slice them into 8 slices, so I'm just going to do 8 salamis around the edge. Everybody gets a slice. There we go. Hey, let's be friendly and throw one in the middle too, just for funsies, right? Black olives. Just regular old sliced black olives. As many or as little as you like. I'm not really even a huge olive guy, but it kind of works on this pizza. Pepperoncini. Adds a little razzle dazzle. And last but not least, I'll show you how to make this stuff. I make it all the time. It's good on all sorts of stuff. Roasted garlic. I usually use elephant garlic just because I have to peel less cloves. It's bigger. It's good stuff. And we're just going to splat some of that stuff on there. Okay, this is your Davinci's Flying Pizza Real Man. Let's get that sucker in the oven. Okay, now picking this thing up, I think in the tools video I said this guy's a little easier. It's not. This is more difficult than the thin metal one, but it's the one that allows me to get a pizza this size on there. right? So it's gonna be a little tricky. We're gonna get it under there, and then we're gonna pull it and slide under it. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. There we go. See, a little bit trickier than those metal ones, but we got her done. Into the oven. Okay, here we go. We're gonna throw our Real Man pizza on a cookie rack. Let that cool down for just a second or two. Just want to show you the bottom of this crust. Look at that. That's what you want to see. Just a little bit of burnies. Or you can, pull it out a little sooner if you don't, but this is exactly what I'm looking for. That's what you find in like the New York style restaurants. Okay, that's good. Let's drop her down, cut her up. See how she tastes. All right. Calling Mr. Spock with the USS Enterprise pizza cutter. All right. We're just going to go right between the salamis here as much as we can. No big deal if we cut through them. Oh, you can feel a little crispy crisp. Okay, now we're not done. This is, I guess, optional, but you really want to add a little razzle-dazzle to your pizza crust that you put so much time and effort to. When it's out of the oven, give it just a little brush of olive oil. That'll really bring out the flavor of the bread. Again, just a little extra razzle-dazzle there. Sorry for the poor camera work. I'm better at pizza than video production. All right, folks, there we have it. Your Real Man pizza from Davinci's Flying Pizza, 1990s Kirkland, Washington. All right, folks, thanks for watching. That is your Real Man pizza. Let's try it out. Oh, sweet mama, that's good stuff. Hope you liked watching. We're going to make a whole bunch more pizzas, so come back to the channel often. Give me a like, subscribe if you like it. Have a lovely day. Go Mariners!